Hello and welcome back to the channel. This is Motions Biz, and I am back today with another information to share with you. And today it will be all about the Navy Federal Auto Loan. Okay, a lot of our community members have asked information about the auto loan, so I tried to put something together. And although I haven't personally done an auto loan with Navy Federal, I tried to get information that I will be able to share here. In this video today, there are two parts to this video. The first part will be the 15 items and 15 facts that you have to know about the Navy Federal auto loan. So that will guide you whenever it's your turn or you're planning on getting a car loan with Navy Federal. The second part will be how do you qualify for an auto loan and what you need to do to prepare. And I will also talk about significant data points that Navy Federal is looking at to qualify you for an auto loan. And before I get started, of course, welcome to our new subscribers. I'm glad you found our channel. And feel free to ask questions. And as long as I know the answer, I will give you that answer and that reply. And if I don't know the answer, we can always find answer from our community members who are here and always willing to help, especially if it is information that they know about when it comes to Navy Federal. So let's go to the 15 items that I listed here that are facts and information about the Navy Federal Auto Loan. And number one is the Navy Federal Auto Loan Program is a stated income program. That means they will not ask for pay stubs or any bank information, bank statements, no bank statements. You can just state that directly on the application. And I am sure that you are very familiar with the car buying process, especially when you are dealing with a dealer. So again, Navy Federal is a stated income. Number two, and as a fact, car loans are a secured loan. It is secured by the vehicle itself. And going to number three, another thing is that it is an installment loan. So it is actually a good addition to your personal credit profile because it is an installment loan, a fixed loan. But another thing to remember with installment loans, especially with a car loan, that would count directly to your DTI or your debt to income ratio. And of course, an installment loan is a good addition to your credit mix. So going to number four, the Navy Federal Car Loan Program is a no down payment program. You don't have to provide a down payment to either the dealer or Navy Federal. And at number five, you only get one hard pull from TransUnion. So when you are buying a car and you go to Navy Federal, you only get one hard pull. And you already know pretty much that when you go to a dealer, your credit report gets pulled as many as 16 to 20 times, depending on which lenders or the dealer will take you to make sure that they get the best deal for themselves as well. So with Navy Federal, you only get one hard pull. I did hear that there are some members that when they did the auto loan with Navy Federal, it was their Equifax that was pulled. I'm not sure if that was before or later, but currently I think Navy Federal is pulling TransUnion more. Number six information about the Navy Federal Car Loan Program is that you can do this three ways. You can either go to the branch and talk to an account manager. You can do it over the phone, and you can also apply right on their web portal. Number seven, Navy Federal has a quick pre-approval process right on their web portal. And there are instances where Navy Federal members who applied for this type of loan got approved in less than 20 minutes. And of course, for some, it may take longer because it will have to go to the underwriting process based on what they have on their credit profile, but you will get an answer sooner or later. Number eight, with Navy Federal, you can do a reconsideration if you feel that you were given a loan amount that was lesser than what you want for a specific vehicle that you want. You can actually call them over the phone and request for a reconsideration. There are times that they may ask for additional paperwork, but they would still, and many times a lot of members have been reconsidered and they were given a higher amount compared to what they were initially approved for. Number nine, Navy Federal Auto Loan does not have a prepayment penalty, so you can pay off this loan ahead of time and you can save a lot on interest. Number 10, Navy Federal allows you to buy your car either from a dealership or from a private party seller. Number 11, and this is a very common question with Navy Federal members as well. Can I buy two cars with the same check or with the same funding that Navy Federal has given me? And the answer is yes. Yes, you can do that, but it has to come from the same dealership. So that check that you will receive from Navy Federal will cover the two vehicles that you want to buy. And some members do get approved for high loan amounts. And as long as that check covers the price of two cars, yes, you can do it. Number 12 is all about the terms of the financing with Navy Federal when it comes to a car loan. For a new vehicle, Navy Federal can extend the term of that loan anywhere from 85 to 96 months. Now, 96 months is, of course, 8 years. I know it's a little too far out there, but it just depends on what your decision will be, what you want to be paying for that specific vehicle, and it's totally a personal decision. But knowing also that the longer you extend that loan, you are paying more on interest charges on asset that is actually depreciating every year. So it just depends on what your personal needs are and what your personal decision is. For a used car, you can extend that loan for up to 72 months. One question that usually comes up when it comes to the Navy Federal auto loan or even buying from any other lender. The thing is, make sure you apply at the beginning of the month because then your credit score, your credit profile has been updated by the credit bureaus. And as you very much know, Navy Federal reports to the credit bureaus usually at the end of the month. So to make sure that after you do the application and you got approved for, make sure that within 30 days, you will go ahead and indeed complete your car buying process with the loan proceeds that you got from Navy Federal. Because if you go beyond that, even if the rate is locked in for 90 days, at the end of the month, your credit profile will update and you'll never know what is on there, what your activities are, and it might change your rate because your credit score has updated. Going on to number 14, okay? Navy Federal is a lot more lenient with credit scores when it comes to qualifying a Navy Federal member for a car loan. And the reason being is even if you do not have that great of a credit score, but you have built a relationship with Navy Federal or you have served in the armed services, they usually would consider these things. And it has been found that Navy Federal does qualify a lot more members, a lot more borrowers compared to other lending institutions, giving them reasonable rates despite a low credit score. But in general, just keep in mind that ideally, if you have at least a 620 credit score, then it is viable for you. Now, if it drops a little bit lesser than that, then Navy Federal might still consider you for a car loan based on your whole internal score with Navy Federal and your personal credit score. And of course, you can always plead your case with Navy Federal for a reconsideration. Okay, they might ask for a little more additional paperwork, but like I said, they can make it work and just give it a try. There's no harm in asking for more or asking to be granted that loan. Number 15 is that with a Navy Federal car loan, you actually get issued a check by Navy Federal in the amount of your approved loan. And you can use this check to go shopping or deal with the dealerships or a private party seller, knowing that you are able to pay for this vehicle in cash using the check that you have with Navy Federal. And of course, what happens in the dealership is that they would usually verify with Navy Federal if indeed that check is legit. Once you are approved with Navy Federal, you can pick up this check either at a branch or you can request it to be sent to you or be mailed out to you. Now, in very rare instances where Navy Federal would actually deposit those funds in a member's personal checking account, but there have been a lot of instances also where a member did not go through with the buying process and used the amount for personal use, and which Navy Federal absolutely does not appreciate. And I am also aware that there is talk around Navy Federal members that this is one way of getting a personal loan by circumventing the usual process for a personal loan. This has the risk of really destroying and jeopardizing your relationship with Navy Federal. And although there are some members who were able to get away with it, I just don't advise it. And this is also another discussion that I will discuss in another video, and absolutely things not to do with a Navy Federal auto loan. So now that we have talked about those 15 items that you ought to know about the Navy Federal auto loan, is that we will discuss what are the basic requirements for you to qualify for a Navy Federal car loan, okay? Just like any other dealerships or with a usual car buying process, of course, you need a very decent credit score, okay? So now, when I say a decent credit score, you must have at least a credit score of 620 and above. There are many instances where members have been approved for lower credit scores, but they have had a great profile. Next qualification, of course, that they are looking at is your debt to income ratio, because of course, Navy Federal wants to make sure that you can afford that car that you want or the loan that you are asking for. And debt to income ratio is just basically calculating all your regular monthly debt with regards to your gross income. That is your income before taxes. So they will consider that to make sure that it's comfortable for you. It's a comfortable monthly. And ideally, that debt to income ratio has to stay within 30 to 40%. And this is in general when it comes to the car buying process anyway. Another aspect that Navy Federal is looking at is, of course, your income. And even if it is a stated income, if they feel that what you stated in your application does not match your deposits, then it will be likely that they will ask for pay stubs anyway. And I know of some members that have shared that, yes, it was a stated income to start with, but then after the underwriting process, Navy Federal actually ask them for pay stubs. Next is that, as a general rule, you must have been a member of Navy Federal for at least 90 days, okay? That is generally the rule, but there are always exceptions to the rule. So there are members that have been approved for car loans, vehicle loans earlier than 90 days. And of course, there are unique circumstances and unique situations wherein members can get approved for that, and it does happen. On upcoming videos, I think I will share the process itself, how to do it online on the web portal from start to finish on how to do the application, but I will do that next time. And I will also share a video on what not to do with Navy Federal car loans. So again, I hope that this video was able to provide you with the initial information that you should know about the Navy Federal auto loan. So again, this is Motions Biz. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Have a wonderful day.